Thank everyone for being here. I am so thrilled that what I threw out there resonated with you guys. This is something literally that I have been playing around with my head for about 4 years. Like, how do I pull all this stuff together and how do I um, serve people and make a difference in people's lives? And what's this, what's the reason for the stuff that I'm dealing with and how does it help other people and how does it all come together in the final analysis? I think is a huge question for me. So I do have notes, which if you've seen me speak ever, I don't use notes, but this is a weird one. It's personal. And I always speak from personal experience, but I don't often speak I don't often speak about me. So I want to be sure that I don't make this about me tonight, because that's the last thing in the world that I want to do. I just hope to kind of resonate with you guys and share some things that might help you where you are. And, I have a group and we have an event for 2 weeks. Events only last for 2 weeks. This series will last for about 6. But anyway, I hope that we can help each other and encourage each other and share wisdom, life wisdom, and what's working for you in your business and what your business is. I'd love to help y'all network and get to know each other because that's important to me too. So, that being said, this has been pinging around in my head for about 4 years, and I could never get everything to come together that I was experiencing, that I was thinking, that the world was experiencing, that was going on. And recently, in early December, Healthy, Wealthy, and Wise to me seems a New Year thing. It's actually from Poor Richard's Almanac, I think. Early to bed and early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. But to me, it's the prospect and the promise of a new year and new ways of doing things and new levels of success. So that kind of popped into my head as I had a house full of people. I had my former college roommate and her family of 4 stay with me for 10 days over the Christmas break. We had a great time. So I'm trying to think during all of that. And this was nagging at me like there's a story you're supposed to tell. There's a way that you're supposed to help people. There's something that you should be saying that you're not. And Healthy, Wealthy, and Wise kind of brought it all together to me. And I've spoken in the past, if you're familiar, and obviously if you're here, you're familiar on the importance of mindset and leaving things behind you that don't serve you any longer and pushing through and having your chops in place, your sales chops, your tech chops, all of those things. And that's the path to success. And it is by and large, but I was missing a huge piece of the puzzle. And honestly, sometimes obstacles and difficult times really sharpen us and help us evolve to that next level. And I feel like that's kind of what's gone on over the past 4 years. So the missing piece for me is that to grow, to rise above, there has to be a base of mental and physical health there. And look, I'm not any kind of professional, nor did I sleep at a Holiday Inn last night. Let me just put that disclaimer out there. But I have been through some things, and we live in a society that says, keep going, push through. You don't have time. Aren't you over grieving yet? Aren't you, like move on already, right? It moves so fast. And society needs you to move at their pace. And we all have to move at our own pace. And everyone has stuff. We have a lifetime of stuff, an accumulation of it. And I often say, like you just keep driving on and something comes your way, you throw it in the back seat and you just keep driving. And eventually the back seat gets full. And so what I do for a living is I help people elevate their business. And I often say that I change lives one business at a time. It's always in the person. So even when we do business coaching, that coaching is about you and where you're stuck and what's holding you back and the thoughts that go through your head. And that is great. And it has helped me accomplish amazing things and helped many of you accomplish amazing things. But we can't ignore that piece of self that sometimes screams at us. And I'm looking at the chat and I'm admitting people to the group or to the Zoom here. So I don't want to make this all about me because it isn't. We're going to cover all of these things. I've got some great tech training. I've got some great holistic practitioners, and I don't mean weird wackadoo cards and, crystals and stuff, traditional Chinese medicine and sound meditation and things that have really helped me reground after a tumultuous 4 years and a really difficult, experience in my life. And all of that kind of dovetails together because we have to treat the whole person if we're going to prepare them for success and help them be successful. And I have worked with people that I know are so supremely capable of doing whatever we're talking about, and they can't get there, and I can't figure out why, right? And the reason is because there's something really dragging them down, way bigger than a little bit of negative self-talk, something unresolved that they haven't dealt with. I'm not capable of helping them deal with it. And so all I'm going to share with you tonight is some resources that might be capable of helping you deal with it. And then all of the other little pieces of it. So to me, that is healthy, mentally healthy, physically healthy, emotionally healthy, wealthy, building wealth, whatever that means to you, and being wise. And we can be wise in so many ways. We can be wise in listening to our body. We can be wise in listening to smart people around us. We can be wise in how we use our time and the tech that we use. Oh my gosh, the tech available to our industry right now is unbelievable. When I started, direct sales is where I come from. I know we've got some realtors on and people from different walks of life, but sales is sales, right? When I started, y'all, you were lucky if you had a fax machine. You had a telephone and snail mail, and that was the height of our technology back in the day. Now we have all this stuff, but it creates an entire other sphere realm where we need to be competent. And so there's such a demand for us to be competent in all these different places. It used to be simpler. I don't know if it was better, it was simpler, but I think that we have broader reach now and we can grow bigger companies and bigger organizations and reach greater levels of success because we do have all of this technology available to us. So again, I don't want to make this about me. I want to set the stage so you can understand where I'm coming from and how I put this together. And I don't like to get really personal about me. If we've ever done any one-on-one stuff or even group stuff, I try and make it more about the people in the group and calling on those shared experiences. So I'm going to start with the shared experience of the big P, the pandemic. And I don't want to get into anything over it except to say that that was really, really hard. Raise your hand if you're an extrovert. That was tough. And it was challenging and it was confusing. And there was information and other information and isolation. And we'd never lived through anything like that in our lifetimes. I don't think we couldn't even have a relative old enough to have lived through the pandemic in the 1800s, I believe it was. Yeah. And so we've never faced anything like that. And I'm not sure that we have slowed down enough in our push to get back to business and get back to normal and the new normal or whatever. I'm not sure that many of us, have taken a moment to just kind of pay homage to that and be like, that was really, really wild. Everything changed and everything stopped and it affected us. And you can see how much it affected us as a country. Globally, definitely there was an effect. But in this country, it was nearly impossible to get in to see a therapist, a mental health, a counselor, or whatever you want to call it in the last 4 years, still very, very difficult to get in to see someone. And so that spoke to me. Like I knew people were hurting and I knew that it was difficult, especially me. I used to throw once a quarter. My husband and I throw a party for 50 people. There's always a reason. Birthday, high holiday, made up holiday, who knows? There's always an anniversary or celebration or whatever. And so I knew that people felt isolated and lonely and confused and frustrated and disenfranchised and all the things. I just wasn't sure how I could help because I was going through it in the middle of that too. And that was a weird kind of time. So I just want you to take a minute to say, hey, I've been through a lot. We've been through a lot, irregardless of anything else that's happened in your life. Like, wow, that was really kind of trippy. And I might be affected by it because things changed as we knew it. During that time, it did feel like something could be done. I wasn't sure what that was. I used to travel like 2 weeks out, 2 weeks in, always on the road. I had my favorite hotels, I always kept a bag packed, and that's how I lived. And then one day, all of that stopped. And I wasn't sure what to do with myself. We weren't really doing virtual events and virtual conferences, which we really saw over the last 4 years, particularly the previous 2 years, where huge companies where they would have gathered together 5,000 people, in a conference area somewhere in a hotel. We weren't doing that. And we really hadn't really figured out broad, big scale virtual events. I've been doing virtual events for 10 years, webinars and things like that, but we hadn't figured it out yet. And so I couldn't quite figure it out either. I was trying to, and it kept kind of nagging at me and saying, there's something that you should be doing, but I couldn't figure that out. I ducked out for a little while and I did a fun little business with my daughter because that was great. So in lieu of being able to fix the greater problem, just spread a little sparkle, had a little fun, spent a little time with her, try to teach her some life lessons along the way, and kind of waited it out till maybe the answer presented itself, or the path presented itself to me. And that took a little while. So that's what I did during those days. And this is very personal. And a lot of you guys know the story. A lot of you guys were there the night. A little over 2 years ago, it was June 2nd of 2019. It was about 9 p.m. I had made spaghetti bolognese for dinner, and I had wrapped up a team training call. So I'm really just sharing this. There's so many conversations that I'm willing to have with whoever's on and whoever's listening and whoever I can help with these experiences, because whatever you go through doesn't really count if you can't use it to make a difference to other people. So about 8:30 or 9 o'clock, our daughter, our only daughter, walked out of our front door and out of our lives, and we have not heard a word from her since then. And that is absolutely uh, gutting. In the early hours, we were terrified. In the early days, we were terrified. She wouldn't answer her cell phone. Someone cleaned out her bank account. We were worried in all the ways that parents can be worried, or not just parents, that anyone would be worried about someone. Her godparents and her cousins and everyone was worried about what was going on. Um, and I mean, we definitely feared the worst. And so my husband and I began to live in a state of fight or flight. And those days, those hours, they turned to days, they turned to weeks. And she is alive and well, to our understanding. Um, but we have spent the last months and years not having heard from her, not being sure that where she is of her own volition, that she's competent to make the decisions that she's making for herself. And it's a child or a puppy or whatever, whatever you love, you just want to protect them. And that has been incredibly, incredibly difficult. And living in fight or flight for an extended period of time is not good for you. So it will throw you into a state after everything that we've been through. Then here's this thing, and I don't want to lose my train of thought, but failing so dismally at something, and I don't fail. One of the things corporately, when I work with people professionally, they say a couple of things about me. Well, to my face, one of the things they say is Michelle Archer doesn't miss. Michelle Archer doesn't fail. Right? I don't know what the rest of it is. Some of y'all can fill me in on the backside. And so to fail so dismally at the most important job of your entire life, which is, to raise a child and equip them well and to build a great relationship, especially being as the connector as I am, that's tough. That was really tough. And so in those days and in those weeks, it didn't matter what I had ever accomplished. Every accolade, every trophy, every triumph, every whatever just crumbled to dust, and nothing else mattered. And it absolutely derailed me. It ruined my confidence. As you can imagine that it would. And I think that you've all probably had an experience where something derailed you so badly that you couldn't even remember who you had been before. Really, really threw you off track. And I know many of you, I'm looking down the list, I know so many of you have dealt with loss and grief. And I think this is what we don't talk about with grief. It isn't just losing a person or the lack of presence of someone. It is all the questions that you ask yourself of what could you have done differently and all of those things. And we carry that around. We just put it in a backpack and we carry it around on our back. And it continues to weigh us down and drag us down. And we can't be everything that we could be because we're so tired of carrying that burden around. And I say all this just to share with you the missing piece that I have found and all of my coaching and all of my training and all the working with people that's so important to me. I feel like it's why God put me here is to work with people and help them become everything that they were put here to be. People can't grow if they can't heal. It's not possible. It's like asking a pear tree that's cut in the trunk 50 different ways to bear fruit. It can't do it. Yet we ask the very same thing of ourselves. No matter what we're suffering, we should bear fruit. We should, be productive, right? No matter what that is. So shortly after that, not blaming anything, but just shortly after that, because life will stack up on you, right? We've all got stories. God, we could share them. I'm sure some of y'all have got better ones than I do. But shortly after that, I began to have really bizarre, unexplained health things. I couldn't swallow. I felt like I would choke every time I would try and eat something. My gastrointestinal system was wrecked. I had blinding headaches, dizzy, like I had just gotten off a tilt-a-whirl. I went to the ER one night because I literally thought I was having a stroke, and they were like, "You're having a panic attack." And I'm like, I don't know if we've met. My name's Michelle Archer, and I stand on the stage in front of thousands of people. I don't panic. And they were like, "Ma'am, you're having a panic attack." I mean, they had enough hog tranquilizers in me to fell an elephant. And I was still like, "No, I'm not panicked. I'm fine. You need to get your stuff together. What's wrong with you?" Right. Um, so that was really mind-boggling. And I think that some of you have already gotten to what was really wrong with me. You can put it in the chat if you think you know, because it took me another 2.5 years, and God knows how much money and therapies and whatever to get to where I am. And I guess that's why another reason why I want to share this with you guys, because let me save you about $10,000. Not save you, because every therapy, every modality, everything that you can explore helps you evolve to the next level. But I mean, I have done it, really done it all. Y'all name some things out, and I'll tell you if I haven't tried it yet. Anywho, took me a while to figure it out. And this is key. Everything that I had ever learned, and I have coaching certifications, and I was raised by the best in the industry, direct sales. I mean, I stand on the shoulders of giants. Everything I had ever learned up to that point could not help me. Tony Robbins, the master of motivational speaking, could not help me. The greatest coach couldn't help me. There was nothing to be done. And the problem was my fundamental needs at the most base root were not being met. I was not meeting them. I wasn't allowing anyone to meet them. I was a pipeline. Things flowed in, they flowed out. I retained nothing for myself because I was trying to, while so injured and grieving, I was trying to provide for everyone around me and take care of everyone who relied on me too. So there was nothing left over for me. So I just was more and more depleted as time went on. So I went to all the doctors. They did all the tests, y'all. Oh my gosh, we should play a game. Have you ever? Listen, they checked me for a brain tumor. I've had so much stuff done, and I don't like doctors, hospitals, medication. I mean, I like nurses pretty much, but anyway, and everything came back really nothing physiologically wrong with me. And everyone was really kind. No one said this is psychosomatic. But they said there's no physical reason that you're choking, right? Because they checked that out with a nice little scope. That's fun. They don't even give you a lollipop after that procedure. But anyway, so I began searching for a cure to fix what was really ailing me. And knowing that whatever I discovered could help other people. I did politely decline most of the medication that they offered because that's their first line of defense at the doctor's office is you feel sad, you feel anxious, you feel whatever, here, take this, you'll feel better. And while that has its place and it is incredibly important, I like to do things the hard way. And I declined that. And I just wanted to explore different options and different alternatives. And so I did. I took classes and I failed myself. I really got put in some great paths. And so I'm so grateful for so many great doctors for saying, hey, have you tried this? There's so many resources out there that I didn't even realize out there. And we need someone to be objective, to challenge our thinking. And I say this to coaching clients all the time. Just because you think it's true doesn't mean it is. We have only ever existed in our body, in our brain, with our thought process, our perspective on life. And so we don't have any other perspective beyond that. It takes an objective third party, which is why I'll say, if anyone is struggling, please God, seek out a counselor, because they provide that third party counseling. A business coach does as well. A life coach does too. But there are times where we need a skilled psychological professional because they have tricks that maybe some of the rest of us don't have. So I took a lot of classes, cognitive behavioral therapy, mindfulness. And I got to tell you, I rolled some of the mindfulness because I was raised like rub some dirt in it and get back in the game, right? There's no coddling here. Quit whining about it. And that, it works. It keeps you moving. It makes you efficient and self-sufficient, but it might not make you the most well-rounded person. So one of the things I've learned on this journey is self-compassion, which is hilarious. Because if I were to ask you guys, do you think that I am compassionate and caring? Most of you, I don't know who's on the call, but most of you would say, yes, I think, Michelle Archer, that you're very caring and genuine and compassionate. And I absolutely am with you. But with me, there's a little drill sergeant in my head that says, get up, quit whining. It's been worse. Like, what's wrong with you? It's better than it's ever been. Gosh, this is nothing. Brush it off, keep moving. And that isn't always the most helpful thing in the world. I will say that I deeply explored self-care. This is one of my love languages. Here's a little tray that I have. Y'all, this is all about what you love. Oh, let me just turn that big screen off. But anyway, can you see it? It's so lush and spa-y. And I found a little skincare company, a wellness company that I'm absolutely in love with. It's been part of the journey, kind of feeds my soul. I get to create experiences for people. And one of my love languages is acts of service. So I love that. It makes me really, really happy. May not be you. I also, because of my field experiences recently, so I did field work in the 80s and 90s and 2000s. And yeah, and then I did corporate work 2000s, 2010, the 20s. I can't believe we're 2024 already. So I have the two levels of experience. But you got to get back in the game from time to time. There's stuff out there like AI, which is fantastic. ChatGPT, Facebook is doing, they'll rewrite your text post for you, which is fantastic. I say that as a child of Rise of the Machines. Anybody, Arnold Schwarzenegger out there, remember that? It makes me a little bit uncomfortable. It feels a little bit like Skynet. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Anyway, but there's so many great tech cheats almost. Like you used to have to sit down and write something. 3 years ago, you had to use 2 years ago, you used to have to sit down and write stuff. Oh my gosh, there's so much great technology for us to take advantage of right now. So really explored self-care and spa and kind of got back in the game a little bit, built two fairly successful field businesses, which was good. It's nice to go back in a time where you don't know who you are. It's really nice to go back to what you absolutely know that you can do, and built a multi-million-dollar business with thousands of incredible women, a few fellas. And that was really fun. And it gave me a lot of skills that I hope to be able to share with you over this 12-part series. And I also found some meditation practices that I love. One was through the skincare and wellness company. Sound meditation and mindfulness and all kinds of great things, but all kinds of great technology too that can help us grow and evolve and build a strong business. But if we're not okay here, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I say to you, and this is one of the things I say to coaching clients all the time, to keep a record. You can raise your hand if I've ever said this to you. I'll say it to me too. Keep a record for 3 days, 5 days, 7 days of the words you use. Catch those thoughts, and you will be shocked at how you speak to yourself. It's terrible. But when we're in a place of chaos, and when we're not standing on solid ground, all of that sounds very, very true. And so we need to get back to solid ground and have good voices around us so that when we have those thoughts, we can say, you know what? We're just having a bad day. It's just a bad day. So that's kind of my story over the last little bit. I have 5 steps for success in the new year. I hope I haven't bored y'all too long. So we've got all of that. I've got some great speakers from all kinds of walks of life to share with you. I can take a few questions right now. I'll answer a few questions, hear a little feedback, hear what your thoughts are, and then we'll just move on to the 5 steps. But so anyway, I hate pregnant pauses. So if anybody has anything to share, I hope that's been helpful. If you want to talk about any of that sidebar, just message me because I'm absolutely here for it. I'm going to read the chat real quick. Someone's saying self-abandonment is real. Yeah, Libby, I think that is such a great way to put it, that you just put your needs aside because in the crisis, you just have to keep going. And we've been through some crises. Yep. Reading. Yeah, medication is okay, and not taking medication is okay. It's totally fine. Everybody's path is their own. And then post-traumatic stress disorder. And that was a difficult one for me, especially being a military wife, because I don't feel like I earned that one. Exactly. So anybody have anything? Yeah. Michael's saying he gets it and you lose the person that you were before. And that was it. I was trying to find who I was before because I couldn't quite remember when you so self-identify with a role, and my role is mother, wife, speaker, trainer, coach. Those are my roles. And one of those is like a Jenga game. We just got Jenga in for some friends to play around for Christmas. It's like Jenga. If you pull too many of those out at one time, the entire thing collapses because it can't hold itself up anymore. So anyway, I hope that's helpful. I'm going to move on to 5 steps for success, finding your footing in the new year. And y'all can message me privately. We can keep the chat going here. I don't want to make anybody uncomfortable or belabor the obvious. I do want y'all to feel encouraged to stick around for the next 11, or you know what, if that's all you wanted from, if that's all you needed, great. But I do have 11 great other topics. I've got one of my frequency meditation experts coming up this week. And it's just so, one of the things I dealt with, I said I went to the ER for anxiety. I thought I was having a stroke or something. I wasn't. It's a panic attack. I find it so calming and soothing. And for some of us, music is our thing. I'll tell y'all, it's been snowing here. Oh my Lord, I love snow. It's so peaceful. Now, if you live in the Northeast, you're eye rolling me right now. But down south, we get it twice a year. It is beautiful. They just flitter to the ground like little sparkly, flakes of glitter. It's so wonderful. All right, somebody tell me that you've snuggled 14 sidewalks today. I'm sorry. All right. So let's talk about 5 steps for success in the new year. I do have notes just because I'm on a note terror tonight. So one thing, as I have been through the last couple of years, I think sometimes when I talk to people about a vision board and goal setting, they tense up and they become uncomfortable because there's so much failure implied. Even when we talk to people about resolutions, right? Because we're so afraid of not hitting the mark. And so what really resonated with me this year is intentions rather than resolutions. And back in December, mid-December, I found, strangely enough, last year, New Year's Eve, I had taken on a Post-it note, y'all know I'm the Post-it note queen, and I had written at the top of it, intentions for 2023. And I just written about six things out. I got 7 of them done, 8 maybe, depends on how you're counting. And sometimes I think resolutions, there's a couple of problems. They can feel really, really hard. So we defeat ourselves before we ever allow it to happen. number one. I think that's the biggest thing. And then resolutions so often are outward bound. It's about what society expects of us, what we think we should do, and they really don't really align with what's in our heart and soul. Oh, I should lose weight. That'll be my resolution. Why? Why should you lose weight? Because you're not a size 6, because society doesn't accept you, because you can't fit into whatever, Cardi B's wearing or whoever. I don't mean to pick on Cardi B. She's nice enough. But why do you want to lose weight? Is that not really more about being healthy, being fit, being strong? What is that about for you? And is it really about you? So I think intentions to say that I intend, gosh, that's so powerful. Far more than my resolution this year is, or I wish, or I want, or I hope, or whatever. I intend. So I'm asking you, what do you intend for yourself, for your family in the year 2024? And in that intention is the why, because intention has why behind it. I want to lose weight because I want to live longer, be stronger, watch my grandchildren grow, go skateboarding in the park, travel more, whatever that is. But there needs to be intention. And usually with the resolutions, there really isn't a lot of intention behind it. It is adhering to the expectations of societal norms and other people. So, number one is, what do you intend for the coming year? Number two is turning those intentions into actionable goals. And this can be hard. And I don't know why I always use weight loss, because listen, I am hearty, like corn fed, but from Tennessee, not Midwestern. Anyway, it's just I think it's a relative to everyone. So once you've defined the intentions and you put a why behind it and really spend some time with this, and I won't vision board you. I'm a huge vision board person. Y'all know that. But once you've done that, um, let's go back to how do we get there? And so much of the time, people spend so much time saying, well, if I'd only, and I wish if I had started earlier or 5 years ago or whatever. Start where you are right now. Begin where you are, start with what you have. That's all you've got. There's nothing else that we can do about it. This is all we have. Get rid of the rest of that stuff. So what will move you towards those intentions? And weight loss is easy. It's not easy for most. Physical fitness. So if that is a goal, just for example, if I want to lose 10 pounds, I want to be more physically fit. How do I go about that? One thing is definitely the food that we eat. So I can't leave lunch to chance. What am I going to eat? When am I going to eat? How am I going to prep before I eat? And y'all, I am terrible about not eating until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So planning that out. It's the same thing with your business. What's your goal with your business? What do you want to do with your business? Do you want to make more money? Of course. But how do you go about making more money in your business? I'll tell you that I firmly believe it's about connecting with more people. The more people you connect with, the more relationships you build, the more money you make, in theory. So, how do you go about connecting with people? What is that methodology by which you connect? And post and pray on social media ain't going to get it, guys. I mean, you should go into the event that I posted, any of my Facebook pages, or my personal profile and see how many posts you haven't seen. And you are my engaged audience. So it has to be more than that. So, what does that look like? What am I going to do? When am I going to do it? How am I going to do it? Do I need an extra additional skill set or training or help in doing those things? This is how we prepare. This is how we turn our intentions into action, into results that we desire. Um, I would say check your personal narrative, and I'm speaking to myself here. We all have one. Mine is, I don't even talk about what mine is, but sometimes that narrative absolutely cripples us because we are calling back to our worst moment, not our greatest moment, and saying, I can't do this because I couldn't do that. So, what are the words that you are using? What are you telling yourself? What's that story? Is it helping you or is it hurting you? And I would encourage you to spend a little bit of time, maybe 24 hours, capturing those thoughts, those words that come into your mind, jotting those down and challenging that. because no one's going to do it for you. That no one knows what you're thinking in your head. It's up to you to say, okay, lazy. And I hear this one all the time. I'm just lazy. And I always say to people, I don't believe in lazy. I believe in scared. I believe in fear of failure. And now I understand laziness often is just being so tired that you just can't muster up the energy. And sometimes we call it procrastination. It's not procrastination, it's fatigue because we have weathered so many storms, we've been through so much, and we have not replenished ourselves in any single way. So I hope you take this away too. Find what brings you joy. Spa. My husband likes to shoot guns, not in a weird way, in a controlled thing, at a nice range. He likes to put together cars, and right now he's working on a 16,000 piece Lego puzzle of a spaceship that I bought him for Christmas. Whatever brings you joy, whatever fills your bucket, resets your head, find that, do those things. But checking that personal narrative, we have 50 to 70,000 thoughts a day, and we have a negative bias. We're born with it. Doesn't mean we have to live with it, but we are born with it. And so we have to learn to challenge it. When I'm having a rough day, when I feel tired, when I don't feel well, also, they told me I have fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue. I mean, they will keep throwing diagnoses at you till, you're just like, I don't want to hear another acronym. And so on those days, I give myself a little grace. Like, I'm not feeling great. I don't have a lot of energy. Why don't I have energy? How do I restore the energy? What replenishes me? What fills my cup a little bit? I would encourage you to kick out the old. We all carry baggage around with us. And my acupuncturist, I absolutely adore. And she said to me one time, like evolving to the next level, leveling up requires us to set things down. And so think of every new phase of your life as a doorway, and the doorway is narrow, and you can always fit, but the baggage that you're carrying around with you can't fit. So you have to unpack your bags. You've got to leave some things behind you. So what needs to stay back in 2023? What doesn't serve you anymore? What isn't helping you evolve and do your best work and be the greatest that you can be? Make peace with setting those things down and leaving them back there for your greater good. And this is not selfishness. Your greater good is everyone else's greater good. The better you are, the better everyone else around you is. The more everyone rises, levels up, the more that we do. So what do you need to leave behind? And I hope that you're taking notes and you're asking yourself these questions, because I didn't prepare worksheets this time. So what do you need to leave behind in 2023? And then what do you need to pick up in 2024? It's a whole brand new year. Gosh, it's just like turning the page. And that's so much fun for me. Oh, God, I just love a new page, a new binder, a new legal pad. I'm huge on legal tablets. So what is it that you need to move forward? What worked? Keep that. What didn't work? Kick that thought, beliefs, training, whatever. What do you need? Is it a new focus? Is it a new perspective? A new way of looking at things, new skills, new technology, because we've got that for you, or at least an introductory version of that. And I'll ask you a hard question. Do you need a new crew? We are the sum total of the people that we spend most of our time around. Are they elevating you or not? What do they have you thinking? What words do they use? What's their belief system? What are they willing to settle for? Got so many examples. I'm not going to say it because I think we're public, but you can catch me later. We find ourselves in crews. It could be our family of origin. It could be kids we grew up with. It could be a million different things. Don't be afraid to put yourself in a new room. You don't have to let go of the old room to step into a new room. But don't be afraid to put yourself in a new room that challenges you, that makes you a little bit nervous, that makes your palms sweat, because there's lessons for you to be learned there. And the more you learn, the more that you can teach others, the more that you can help others learn. So think about, what do you need to let go of, and what do you need to embrace in the new year? And that's kind of what I had to share in this volume 1 of 12 got a lot of great things coming. But that's kind of what I had to share tonight. And I appreciate y'all hanging out. And I think I'm going to stop the recording, but I would love to hear your feedback and your thoughts on it. I've got a lot of stuff going on here, but I'm going to stop our public recording. Maybe I don't even know what Facebook's doing, to tell you the truth. Does anyone ever know what Facebook's doing? So I'd love to hear your thoughts and your feedback on that. Oh, Linda says she's taken notes, and Libby's saying, yeah, fatigue, depression, and expectations. Yeah, let go of the expectations of others, man. Nothing will cripple you more. And you are not here to please anyone else. You're not here to live anybody else's life or make their life worthwhile or fulfill their wildest dreams or anything. You're just put here to fulfill your life and your life purpose. And that isn't selfish. If you let go of all the rest of that stuff, you could absolutely change the world. And that's where the magic really begins. All right. Try and clear some of this out. There's a lot of stuff going on here. And we'll take some questions. I don't even know if we went live on Facebook. All right. Well, if you're here, then awesome. And if not, sorry. Oh no, it looks like I didn't admit Gail. Sorry, Gail. She just got in here. All right. So anybody have anything along those thoughts? I'm reading the questions. If your expectations of others are too high, you'll be disappointed. Absolutely. But if your expectations of yourself are too high, you'll also be disappointed. But I think you're a rare bird because you're here, and very few people rise to your level of greatness. And there's an obligation and an opportunity in that, that you are a rare bird. Sandra says, I got to quit swimming upstream. So, Sandra, I'd love to hear more about that. Maybe sidebar, you can message me. Yeah, sometimes we do feel like we're fighting so hard against that. And it's absolutely exhausting. Oh, looks like Gail's popping back in. Anybody have anything before we wrap up? I hope I have the recording here. Maybe we're on Facebook, maybe we're not. This is the beauty of joining live. So anybody have anything they want to share before we get out of here? I hope this was a good session one, kind of an overview. I don't know if I did a great job with that. Also, let's throw a Christmas tree behind me. Fun fact there. I was absolutely freaking out. I have a bulging disc in my lower back and I can't feel most of my toes. It's better now. But earlier in the week, really couldn't feel my toes. I've been to the doctor, chiropractor, and he's got me all squared away. And I was flipping out that I don't have my office Christmas tree down yet. I'm like, I can't go live like this. Oh my gosh. You know what? Sometimes your Christmas tree is up. It is really embracing what is important over what you feel is urgent. No one's life is changed because my Christmas tree is still up. I hope that someone's life is impacted because I went ahead and went live and did this thing with the Christmas tree in the background. Also, it's my beech tree. It's my favorite, and it's snowing today. Makes me really happy. All right, let's see what else is in the chat here. Yeah, letting go of things that don't serve you. Yeah, letting go of things that no longer serve you. I mean, amen. Monica says food isn't like medicine. It is medicine. Absolutely. So I didn't even get into the dietary stuff. Of course, you are what you eat. And there's a whole nother sidebar. I don't want to get off into conspiracy theories or anything that'll freak people out, but yeah, there's a lot of bad stuff in our food. We should be really careful. There's a reason organic pears are twice the price of regular pears because, they're organically grown. Brilliant, Monica. I really love that. All right. Anybody? I want to keep y'all too long. Thank y'all so much for spending some time and sitting through the long story to get to the short story, which is the next 11 topics that have been transformational for me, and I hope will be transformational for you. All right. Oh, thank you guys. I got to figure out where the heck we are and how to get out of Facebook if we even are in Facebook. Facebook's a trip and a half. I'm just going to get out of there. We'll see what happens. All right. Bye, Facebook. Zoom's been weird, and we have snow here, and it's been weird. All right. Y'all message me. Let me know what questions you have, what thoughts you have, and I will send you the next Zoom. Yes, Wednesday will be sound meditationist. It's all singing bowls. It's totally relaxation. And I think we don't relax enough. We're so go, 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 so electronically driven, whatever. I don't even think we know how to relax anymore. And this was profoundly powerful to me. I think you're going to love her. Her name's Kelly, and she'll be on Wednesday. We're going to be around lunchtime CST. So if you are signed up, if you're getting emails and texts, you'll get that. If you aren't, message me so that I can get you on that, because I can't like message 500 people like here's the next Zoom. I have a little program, it'll pulse it out to you. And then definitely invite people, invite them to the event, invite them to sign up. Gosh, if we can just help one person feel better, then boy, that's been worth it for sure. So, all right. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Y'all are the most special people to me. I'm just looking down the list and here are my people. All right. Good night, guys. Message me if you have questions.